was just talking about your experience because you're my first social distancing
This
private
is
client.
distancing.
So this is your end of your third class.
Yep.
Right, and we've covered heel. We did the auto sits,
Auto sits, heels.
and then today we just did the recall stuff, right? And I remember the first day, it was a little frustrating, right? Getting that.
A little frustrating. We had a dog that didn't listen to anyone.
Yeah, and then we had to get him to listen, right? And how's that been for you?
It has been life-changing.
Going in slow again. Good, slower, and stop. Good, go ahead and turn, about turn. Yep, you're good. Forward, slow, stop. Give a tap here. There he is, good. Good, yep, good. Yeah, distraction coming. Good. Good. Yeah, he didn't even care about it.
Hey, Jake. Didn't think we could do this social distancing, but we have, and from the very first session, we've gotten compliments on Nash's behavior.
That's awesome.
The fact that he now walks without pulling on our arms. He actually sits when a dog walks by us, and that's only in 3 lessons.
Yeah.
And this is a 71-pound dog
Yep.
who really does his own thing before this.
Yeah. And it was frustrating, you know, because obviously I couldn't touch Nash,
Right.
and it was all verbal instruction, right?
Amazing. I thought it was going to be really hard not watching you do it first. I actually enjoyed being the one that got to work him through the panic.
Yeah.
And work, because it taught me as a handler
Yep.
even more than if I was watching you do it.
Correct. And even prior to all this, I've always told people, because we get requests for like board and trains, and I'm very transparent. I tell people the pro of a board and train is that we can get what you would get done in 12 weeks in 4 weeks.
Yep.
The con is the dog's trained with us.
Right.
So now we got to transfer all that to you, right? Which it's nothing bad, but then the owner doesn't learn all the work and the exercises, why it works, how it works, what to do when things go south, right? That I much rather the owner do it because nothing's ever tied to me.
Right.
It's you from day one.
And that's been the best part about it too, is that I feel accomplished. Like I got us through it together.
Yes.
We got it through it together.
Yeah.
And it actually, I was just telling someone the other day about the training, saying how I've learned so much about dogs and dog behavior because you can't touch the dog or go near me. So you're telling us a lot more.
Yep.
And I feel like the things that I've learned, then when I'm out walking him, I'm saying things in my head like, oh yeah, a car needs to slow down before it brakes.
Yeah.
And so I think that sticks more because I have to pay so much more attention to you since you can't show me how to do it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So when you talk, I'm trying to hang on to every single word. And so we're learning together.
Yeah. It definitely creates, it's a challenge, right? But one thing
challenging.
I've always, and for me personally, is I learn best by doing it myself, you know? And even though you're being instructed, you're still having to figure out, like right now, the whole wrapping the leash around your hand stuff, I was like, man, how's I gonna do it? And then I was like, all right, great, I have to bring a leash now. But then I was like, oh, well, I have this little thing here, like here, this is how you do it, right? And you're able to get it done, you know?
Exactly.
And the little thing, the training itself is easy. It's more so the little nuances that come with it that are difficult.
Exactly.
You know?
Things we would have watched you do first, but when you're actually learning to get him to heel, watching you do it, I'm sure would have been a lot easier to see how it's done. But when you're the one walking, you're trying to look, you're trying to tap, but you get through it.
Yeah.
And I got to see it happen in real time. I mean, it was challenging, but
but that's life.
it's life.
You know, because you turn a corner, there's a dog.
Right.
And it's so sudden that, it's very impulsive for the dog to, respond in that moment.
It makes your reactions be being proactive.
Exactly.
Reactive.
Yep.
So I'm learning more about now, what makes him trigger.
Yes.
And
And in the e-collar, of course, makes it simple because it's just you press a button. And as long as you're willing to go to the appropriate number. So you talked about you're at 30 for a couple of weeks, right?
Yep, and we went up to 53 this week.
Yeah, this goes to 127 for those that are watching. So when they start to expose Nash to different neighborhoods, he started to sniff and pee more, starting to test the boundaries, more distractions.
Yes.
And then we just override that by more power.
And that's one of our biggest things on walks. That's something that he always lunges and pulls for, is to go pee on everything, every 5 steps. And yes, in the new neighborhood that we were walking the other day, his number had to go up to 53, and it worked.
Yeah. And he's doing good. Here, he's nice and relaxed. He's just chilling. There's a dog walking over there.
And this is his play area. So this is where he comes every day to run free.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's actually being calm in here.
Yep.
It's this is the place where you let him go crazy.
Yeah. And the reason for this is because of the pressure. Because now there's consequence, so to speak, for things.
Right.
So it makes them second guess, I can't be so impulsive. Right. So it's like a kid who throws a temper tantrum and keeps getting what it wants. It's going to keep throwing a temper tantrum.
He does whatever he wants.
Yeah, So then once finally, if the parent gets fed up and decides to discipline their child and maybe spanks that kid, now the next time they're at the store, now there's consequence in play. Do I really want to be a brat and throw a temper tantrum? And that's all contingent on the kid's personality type.
Right.
Same thing for the dog. So for Nash, he's still going to go crazy and have fun. But when you give him that come command or the heel, it's okay, gotta work. Consequence, nope, don't, 53 is not worth it. I'll be right there, Mom. That's just how it all works.
Yes, and for anyone thinking of doing this, we've had Nash for 3 years, and no one has ever told us that Nash is a well-behaved dog. Until this week, when we were out walking on Racine, we were heading north, and there was a lady at a crosswalk, and he sat at the light with me and just waited, and I said, okay. And she's like, your dog is so well-behaved.
Yeah.
I had to look around to see if there was someone else she was talking to. So that in 3 weeks, for us and anyone else to say he's well-behaved is not, Nash and well-behaved never went together.
I never heard them in the same sentence.
Never. No, never. So
yeah, and obviously
you have to do your homework.
Exactly, I was about to say. Yep.
Your homework. And we put every day, we put a couple hours into it every day. Different, he'll take him for a walk, I'll take him for a walk.
Perfect.
You have to do the work.
Yeah, for sure. That's with anything, you have to. Even if I was helping with the training and actually handling Nash, it always comes down to you have to reinforce the homework.
But then you get the results.
What about you, Drew?
Your dog is a good dog.
How you feeling about it?
Oh, I'm feeling great within just these 3 sessions. It's just been amazing. As you know, I spent the summer in a sling because he pulled me down. So hard.
And I thought he had just, when I remembered that, I was like, I think he dislocated the shoulder. And then you commented, no, he broke his shoulder. Jesus. Yeah.
3 months of PT.
So, no, this has been amazing. And just looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Just moving ahead and more and more. A well-behaved dog.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys. And, of course, doing the homework. That's always a big factor. I provide the information, I provide the tools. The rest is of course on you.
Is on us.
And you've done a great job. It shows. Each week he's getting better and better, so good job.
And I see the difference myself too, because Nash is not that he's my dog, but I've spent so much more time with him.
Sure.
Because I work from home even before the quarantine.
Sure.
So it's actually been, and when Drew walks him at night, it's been shorter walks. It's nighttime, dinner, bed, So it's actually nice to watch now Drew and him form a really good relationship outside walking as well.
Yeah.
Just because of my work life, I'm home with him all day long.
Yeah.
So it is really cool to watch, when Drew comes back and he'll say, we had such a good walk, I only tapped him once.
Perfect. Yeah. And it makes you want to do more.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I did, because I came from positive only to where I'm at. So I know everything, you know,
Yeah.
or almost everything. You know, I'm sure there's probably stuff I don't know. And the biggest thing I saw with positive only or food only is that people would give up because they knew what they wanted, but they weren't getting it.
We did.
Yeah, and it was very frustrating for me because I was like, you know, there's got to be a better way, which led me to look for more answers, which ultimately led me to e-collar. And then the system that I've come to develop after my internship with Richard Hines, is like it's completely hands-free, and the people get the results right away, which then motivates them to actually want to practice.
Yes.
You know, so the tool gets has bad reputation because you can misuse it, of course.
Of course.
But obviously very effective. So.
I mean, and we've seen it because you trained already 3 dogs that live in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, there's Roxy, then
there's
Shadow.
Roxy, Shadow, and there was someone else.
I'm trying to think who else lives around here.
Roxy, Shadow, and then Naringa just gave your name out to like 3 more people that got new puppies.
Sure.
But yeah, like when we first got him, we were clicker training with clicker and treat.
Sure.
We gave up because it wasn't working. I'm like, I don't even know what this
There's
is.
too much to argue with in the world. Like, it's yeah. I mean,
It
chasing a
wasn't
ball or that cheese in your hand. Sure, I'll chase the ball.
Oh yeah, there's a ball go and I'm doing the clicker trying to show a hot dog and he's like, yeah, bye.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
work.
actually fun, though,
So
like,
this is something that like it is. It's fun.
well, could you see results pretty much like immediately? So it's like if it took a long time really to see results, then you might maybe get frustrated or whatever.
Oh yeah, you know.
It's like instant.
See, you just want more. You just get addicted to it.
Yeah, it's very simple. You know.
I think we have walking competitions. How many taps did you have to do?
Yeah, you should get one of those boards, like what they say, the accidents in the workplace, but for like taps for Nash.
Last
Oh my
time,
god, we have a whiteboard inside. We should do taps.
No, well, I'm glad that you guys are obviously doing the homework, which is the reason for your success. So great job.
Anyone can do this, either social distancing or non-social distancing. They can do it.
Yeah, it's even easier if I can actually, you know, touch. But
for the better. I think it's better form of training like this. We're more hands-on.
yeah,
So we thank you.
yeah. Thank you guys. If you need anything else, you let us know.
Okay.